Hello, dear class. I received a few questions about this last homework problem, number 11. So I want to go over it because some of this we covered in class and some of that I did not specifically talk about. So this is problem number 11 in your homework, or it's number 9-6A problem at the end of your textbook. So we're a company with 10 employees. Each employee earns $2,800 per month and is paid on the last day of each month. All 10 have been employed continuously at this amount since January 1st. Right now is March 1st, and we have all these accounts and balances listed right here. So we're going to be recording payroll for March and some other transactions besides payroll for March and April. So far the employees worked for 2 months, so each employee has already made the cumulative gross earnings of $5,600. Okay, so everybody is at 56 and now it's March. Okay, so we have to journalize these transactions. March 15th we issued check payable to a bank, which is a federal depository bank, authorized to accept our employer's payments of FICA taxes and employee income tax withholdings. The 8284 check is in payment of the February FICA and employee income taxes. So what it says here, that once a month we deposit Social Security and Medicare taxes, which include two portions. My portion, I'm the company, and what I withheld from employees, as well as the employee portion of income tax because the company does not pay income tax for them. And you make a payment by the 15th of the following date. So this payment is for February, and the total is given to you. This is cash out. So 8,284 is credit to cash. What do we debit? We need to debit our three liabilities. So we need to debit FICA Social Security tax payable. We need to debit, when we are paying taxes, we're debiting those liability accounts. We're going to debit Medicare or FICA-Medicare tax payable, and we're going to debit employee income tax. Federal income tax payable. We're going to credit cash. So the amount of cash was given to me, right? This 8,284 was given right in here. How do I know how much Social Security? I just look at the balances. So this is the balance of Social Security, 3,472. This is the balance of Medicare, 812, and this is the balance of employees' FIT or federal income tax payable, 4,000. When you add them up, it will be equal to 8,284. So 3,472, 812, and 4,000. Done. This is record entry. View it. There it is. And we can record it. Okay. Next entry, March 31st. It says record the employee payroll expenses and liabilities for the month of March. This is your big transaction. This is the employee portion of payroll for the whole month of March. And they're giving you all this data in the table. So this is gross pay, total 28,000, but the company separates it into office salaries, and I add the word expense and I debit it, and shop salaries expense. So this information is gross pay, together 28,000. So office salaries expense and shop salaries expense. Companies separate gross pay per department because of different reasons. How we're going to look at costs in managerial accounting because of different rates for workers' compensation. Just use what's given. Together, guys, both of these amounts give me $28,000, which is before taxes. Oops. 28,000 is gross pay. This together gives me 28,000. Now FICA taxes are given right here. So this is Social Security and this is Medicare. So I debit gross pay and then I credit all liabilities or withholdings, employee withholdings. So I start with FICA Social Security, then I go into FICA Medicare. The amounts are given in the instructions. Then I have to credit employee federal income tax payable, and it was given as 4,000. And that's it. So these were withholdings right here. And then net pay is take-home pay, 21,858. And if you wanna make sure your gross pay, 28,000 minus these 3 tax withholdings gives you net pay, this will be salaries payable. Because if I look at the instruction, it says right here, where are we? Recorded the journal entry for the March salaries payable. That's what I'm doing. And then recorded the cash payment of the March payroll. Okay? So what I need to do, I apologize about this. I need to record this entry. And then I need to record the next one where I take salaries payable. And I take cash. I debit salaries payable from the previous, transaction, net pay of 21,858, 21,858. There we go. So 2 transactions on March 31st. 2 transactions. Employee payroll and then the cash payment of net pay. So we recorded so far these 3 transactions. Let's move on. Let's go to the next March 31st transaction. And now they want us to record the employer's payroll taxes, the employer portion. And we did it in class. So first was employee, now employer. And the company has the state unemployment rate is given and federal unemployment rate is given. Okay? So this is how I do it. I'm going to debit payroll tax expense. I will leave the amount blank because I don't know what it is until I list all the taxes, all the liabilities, all the credits. So Social Security payable and Medicare payable are the same. Oops, that's the wrong one. Are the same amounts as I recorded in the previous entry. So whatever employees pay, employer matches. So 1736 and 406. You just copy these 2 taxes. Now we have to do state unemployment and federal unemployment. These 2 accounts, right? The amounts I have to figure out. This is how I do it. The cap is 7,000. You have the rates. I mentioned in the beginning that each employee already worked for 2 months and earned $5,600. Right now they're being paid $2,800. But if you take 5,600 and you look at 7,000, that gives you $1,400. So only $1,400 is going to be taxable, right? So if you look right here, 7,000 is the cap for both unemployment, state and federal, and employees were already at 5,600. So even though they make 2,800, only 1,400 is taxable. And then you multiply it by 5.4%. I'm sorry, this is so 1,400 per employee, and there are 10 employees, right? So multiplied by 10, so it's 14,000 multiplied by 5.4%. This is the amount of state tax. 756 goes right here. And in the same manner, I take 14,000, 1,400 per employee multiplied by 10 employees, and I multiply it by 0.006, which is 0.6%. So $84 is FUTA payable. That's it. Add them up, all your credits, you get 2,982 debit to payroll tax expense. Record entry, move to the next entry. So we have to now record April 15th. We issued check in the payment of March FICA and employee income taxes. So we're going to make a deposit again. So this transaction on April 15th has the same accounts as our first transaction on March 15th, okay? So we're making payment to the IRS of FICA Social Security, FICA Medicare, and employee federal income tax payable. We're paying it with cash, and we're paying it for March. So if you look back at March, at the previous transactions, you had Social Security at 1,736 twice. So 1,736 double multiplied by 2, you get 3,472. So half of that we withdrew from employees' payroll, and another half we matched, we paid. Same with Medicare. We took out of employees $406 and we matched it. So it's 812. And for federal income tax, if you look at your second transaction, employees we withheld $4,000. And so this is the deposit we're going to make. So cash would be 8,284, those three debits together. So that's April 15th, deposit of FICA and federal income taxes with the government. Record entry. And the next one, we're gonna record the payment of SUTA taxes for 3 months. We're making this payment on the same day, so I'm going to pay state unemployment tax payable with cash, and they want us to record it for January, February, and March. So you have state unemployment right here for January and February, 3,024. And then if you look at the transaction for March 31st, so remember 3,024 plus for March, this is state unemployment, plus 756, okay? So again, 3,024 plus March unemployment of 756. I am going to, how do I get out of here? Right here. I'm going to get the amount of $3,780. $3,780. Okay, paid. And now, guys, we're going to pay it in the same manner federal unemployment for the first quarter, which is also same, 3 months, January, February, March. So January, February, you have this amount, and you have a transaction for federal unemployment taxes for March 31st, transaction number 4, and the amount there is $84. So 336 plus 84 gives me 420. 420, debit federal unemployment taxes payable, credit cash. Nice, record. All right. The last transaction, I record the filing of Form 941 with the IRS. There is no entry. When I file the form, there is no journal entry required. We need to choose it because if you look at the instructions, it says if no entry is required, select no journal entry is required. So if you don't choose it, it will be marked as a mistake. And these are your transactions right here. And the problem number 11 is complete. Thank you so much. Happy studies. And I will see you in class.